Hello everyone and welcome to Sacktown Slam. I am here with my buddies, Ivan, and of course my other buddy, Danny. And we are here to talk today about a few different topics. I would like to start with Wrestle Kingdom 12. Now, for those of us that don't have Periscope, and, we're able to see some of it on, of course, Access Television, because we didn't want to pay $90 for a fucking pay-per-view. I have to admit, this pay-per-view was very, very good, and probably has Vince shitting his pants about WrestleMania. So, obviously, the piece de resistance was Jericho versus Omega. I did not know this was going to be for the U.S. title, though. I mean, that kind of added a little bit of intrigue to the whole thing. But as far as the match, I have to say the match was definitely lived up to the hype. There were spots during the match where he just took a camera and was randomly flipping people off while taking pictures of the camera at the audience. You don't see that in the WWE. And then there was a time, I think he busted Omega's head open during the match also.
Yeah, I think he was bleeding.
So, this match was hardcore. There was a point where he jumped over the guardrail on top of the announcer's booth, and I believe that he put Omega through the announce table. This match was so hardcore. And
Omega put Omega through the table.
Yeah,
because Jericho was on the table, but as soon as Omega jumped, Jericho moved, and there goes Omega through the table.
Yeah, he showed him the way. So
you didn't put me through a table. I put me through a table.
Exactly. So, I also like the IWGP heavyweight match. I believe that was Okada won that match, and that was a great match. I think Okada is definitely one of those great stars that's going to just explode on the wrestling scene, and everybody's going to be talking about him, and I hope he stays in New Japan, because with the way WWE is treating their Japanese stars, I would hope he'd have the common sense to stay in New Japan for a while. Omega did, and newsflash, Omega did re-sign with New Japan, not only through this year's Royal Rumble, but also next year's. I don't think his contract is up until the beginning of February of 2019. So, if he's gonna go to WWE, that would be the time, because that's right around also when the Young Bucks, our contract is up with ROH and New Japan. So, and Kenny also flat out said that he would not leave New Japan unless WWE took them and the Young Bucks as a package. So, what do you guys think about just Wrestle Kingdom in general?
Well, to add on to what you just said, also news flash, if it is to be true and understanding that ROH is wanting to work with WWE, and something happens within the next year or two to where they get an agreement, I believe we don't necessarily have to have Omega even be signed with the WWE if they're working together. Technically, it's a partnership. They'd be New Japan working with WWE, and they could still technically show up to your WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, but same with WWE superstars going to Wrestle Kingdom and shit like that. So, if that's the case, then we might even see Kenny Omega sooner than later anyways.
Danny?
Alright, well, this was actually the first time I ever got to see a Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view, because I barely get a chance to fully watch New Japan because of my situations of TV and internet. So it was fucking amazing. Like, it's what a pay-per-view should be. Like, the atmosphere, the crowd, the matches, how the matches were booked, and everything. The Kenny and Chris match was great. Like, I think that was personally one of Chris's best matches in his entire career. I wouldn't say the same for Kenny, but I did really enjoy Kenny's fucking Destiny theme entrance look. It was really interesting. And you say something?
You know, the Destiny theme, the whole Egyptian theme, apparently he wanted to come out with a bunch of people in hoods, and he wanted to look like Apocalypse from the X-Men. No bullshit there.
That would actually be pretty badass. Yeah, he could have had like the Bullet Club do that or something.
But, yeah, I mean, he came out with, like, an Overwatch gun, like this Egyptian headdress thing, making him look kind of like one of the Egyptian gods.
He looked like something from Stargate.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but it came off looking decent, but I hear Omega didn't care for it because he thought it looked kind of goofy. So, you know, to each his own, but I didn't think it looked as bad as it may have seemed for him.
Yeah. The Bullet Club triple tag match was actually pretty awesome too at Wrestle Kingdom. I did watch that, and it was pretty insane.
And then there was, of course, the match with Cody and Kota Ibushi, which that was bomb. You know, I love that match.
That one actually surprised me because, like, I didn't really suspect Cody be in New Japan. I just figured he would just stay at Ring of Honor or whatnot. But, like, it has happened where Ring of Honor goes to New Japan and New Japan goes to Ring of Honor. So it shouldn't surprise me that much, but it did throw me off a little bit.
And unfortunately, I believe the Young Bucks lost their match.
They lost.
No. Oh no, Young Bucks won and Cody lost. That's right.
Yeah.
There for a while, it was going win, lose
for the Bullet Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not a bad score.
So yes, they didn't do too bad. But yeah, I mean the pay-per-view itself was not bad. And I think that compared to what I'm afraid WrestleMania is probably going to be because of a certain guy named Roman Reigns and another certain guy named Brock Lesnar, you know, that this is going to be, that pay-per-view is leaps and bounds probably going to be better than WrestleMania. Anyway, so next topic. Raw 25. The 25th anniversary of Raw is this upcoming Monday. Now, Raw, 25 years is a long time, and I've been watching Raw since it started. I've been watching Raw since, every big moment on Raw I've pretty much seen. And, you realize he can see that on the computer, doofus. But anyway. I think that, there are a ton of guest people that are going to appear there. My assumption is that all these women are coming because there were something like 11, 12 spots now with Paige out open for women for the Women's Royal Rumble. They do not have enough talent, even if you were to add all the NXT women, to fill a 30 women Royal Rumble. So there's going to be some classic women being added to the Rumble.
That's going to be exciting.
So if you guys were to choose maybe 5, who would you want to see?
5? That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Let's see. One, I'm pretty sure this is not gonna happen, but like I always will like to see this happen. Sable come out. Let's see, probably Jacqueline, Michelle McCool, Beth Phoenix, and probably Kelly.
Ivy?
Even though we know it's not gonna happen, Karma would be nice. Karma would be nice if we do the whole add Karma, then you could have Karma face off with Nia Jax. Even if we got Pip or Niven or Piper Niven, however you say the chick's name, you could even have that versus Nia Jax because she's just almost as big. But Tamina's over here threatening to hurt Nia anyways, apparently.
Tamina's not big enough.
So, Piper Niven, excuse me, Karma, I would like to see Tori Wilson be there. She's going to be at the Monday night, 25. That doesn't mean she's necessarily going to be in the Women's Rumble. But if she is there and she's for the Women's Rumble, that would be a plus. Lita I want to see, and then Beth Phoenix is the other one I agree with him. Would be another one.
Well, as far as I go, this is going to sound a little white bread, so to speak, but, obviously Trish. Gotta have Trish, especially if she can go. Gotta have Lita, especially if she can go, and we know she can, because she's in shape enough to do it. This is one I know isn't gonna happen, but the pop would be fucking amazing, and that would be AJ Lee.
Ooh.
I mean, AJ Lee would be amazing.
That would be awesome, yeah.
But I think that has about as much chance of happening as Karma, unfortunately. I would like to see Jacqueline. That would be nice, because, given that, Booker T is on Raw, Jacqueline showing up would be great. Especially if she slaps the shit out of him. But, another one, and then the last one that I think would be interesting, and she was in the Mae Young Classic. I would like to see Toni Storm, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So, those would be my 5 personally. Now, another thing that's been going around about Raw 25.
Molly Holly.
Yeah, Molly Holly's another one.
Mighty Molly.
Rumor, but, I have nothing to confirm or deny that rumor.
James Ellsworth, what?
Yeah.
Ivory would be a good one.
James Ellsworth ain't coming back. Santina. Oh, God.
That would be amazing.
Can I punch him, please?
That would be amazing.
That'd be funny.
That would be stupid.
And you'll
do the same thing what happened to him into the first time, the 1 year last year he was in the Rumble happened to him in the female. He just gets eliminated as soon as he gets in.
it was just 1 second. He actually made a record of quickest in-ring elimination.
Before it was the guy from Bushwhackers.
Yeah, but unfortunately, let's not waste a spot on a dude. This is supposed to be a women's Royal Rumble. Not a freaking intergender Royal Rumble.
He'd be there just for ha hee ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's...
Which they've done shit like that before.
That's so stupid, though. If they make a joke out of this after their agenda has been about pushing this, then...
Joke out of the women's Money in the Bank with James Ellsworth grabbing the briefcase.
Yeah,
It would surprise me if they did it to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you have a great point there. So, but hopefully they will learn from their mistakes, which they never do. So, because I'm Vince McMahon, and I don't make mistakes. I make money. You know what? If you're making so much money, then why are you sweating balls over New Japan, you son of a bitch?
Because he's not sweating balls over New Japan.
I guarantee...
The net worth for WWE is more than the net worth for New Japan.
Yeah, but then why are all these... Yeah, but if you have seen the people that the Young Bucks have for their All-In show, I guarantee that's making him sweat. Because he sat there and stuck Neville... Because they have this wallpaper, and this was another topic of discussion that I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you've seen the wallpaper for this, or if you've seen it. But the Young Bucks are going to try and fill a stadium. I don't know for sure where it's going to be. Apparently, it's either going to be Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Chicago, Illinois. They want to try to get CM Punk. If they get CM Punk, they will put CM Punk against Kenny Omega. Now, they also want to try and get Neville. If they get Neville, they want to have Neville face Mr. Villain Club, you know, Marty Scurll.
Yeah, the King versus the Villain.
Yeah, that will. And then if Daniel Bryan walks away from WWE, they want to put Daniel Bryan versus Kota Ibushi.
Or Bryan Danielson.
Or Bryan Danielson. Excuse me. And then there was another six-man tag that I don't remember, but one of the people that I do remember was in it was Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, it was Rey Mysterio.
It was Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger, and some other guy that I can't remember against three guys from New Japan. Yeah. So, I mean, if this happens, and if all of these matches happen, WWE is fucked.
Not necessarily. Your opinion, but you know.
They'd be fucked because it would prove substantially that they were just holding down Daniel Bryan because they wanted to, because they had an agenda with Roman Reigns. B, it would prove they were holding down Neville because they had an agenda with fucking stupid-ass Enzo fucking Amore, who should be set on fire and boiled in oil.
We got a hater over here.
And, you know, it would also prove that, you know, CM Punk may not necessarily not want to wrestle. He may just not want to wrestle for McMahon.
First of all, Daniel Bryan, in my opinion, if he's trying to get clear to wrestle, and God forbid something happens where he gets paralyzed, where he can't do anything, and he gets hurt to the point where his daughter and his wife are pushing him around in a wheelchair, that's gonna fucking suck. And that's gonna be on Daniel Bryan's head, and that's fucking selfish of him. So I'm glad if that's legitimate, the reason why WWE does not want Daniel Bryan to wrestle, then that's good on them. And Daniel Bryan needs to knock his shit off.
But if that's the case, I agree. But why would every doctor in the damn world clear him to wrestle
because they don't care.
Outside of the WWE doctors?
Because obviously they don't care. And they probably get money to see him. Oh, give us money. Now we gotta check you out. All right. Thank you for your money. Now
I'm pretty sure if he's taking other doctors, I don't think all those doctors actually know fucking.
And doctor's code is do no harm. That means, and you are never, ever, ever supposed to tell doctors doctors aren't supposed to tell you bullshit. I can tell you that. I can tell you that from experience.
They're not supposed to. That doesn't mean they do, or they don't.
But I mean, he's seen multiple doctors too. Not every doctor is going to be fucking crooked.
Yeah, he had his second and third, fourth,
and fourth and fifth.
I'm just saying if. Like I said, if their reasoning is because they don't want to see him get paralyzed and see his wife or his daughter have to be the one to push him around in his wheelchair, then, you know, it's legit. And I don't want to see him personally get paralyzed.
Well, no one wants to see him personally.
So, I mean...
Nobody ever wants anyone to see anybody.
If Bryan feels confident enough that he can wrestle again, just at least for one more match,
yeah.
Give him the proper training so he can prep his body for it.
Yeah, I could give you a good example. Paige, look what happened to her.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere, though.
That did come from out of nowhere, which
they
is
knew
true.
About her injuries and
then that's WWE's problem.
There is a difference between Paige and Daniel Bryan. The thing is that Daniel Bryan has been out of the ring for years. Paige was out of the ring for about a year and a half, but she didn't even fully recover from her injuries until like 2 months ago. Daniel, I guarantee, has healed up from whatever injuries he had or sustained during, 3 years ago?
All I know is if it is cleared and WWE decides to clear and we get an incident where he's paralyzed, I guarantee you threats of suing is going to be happening. I guarantee you. So, I mean, whatever Daniel thinks he can do, I mean, it's on him, but he should realize if something happens to him and he's paralyzed, that's on him.
Well, you also gotta look for in the way of WWE, because aren't they also trying to push for Daniel Bryan to wrestle against Shane?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know where that's going.
I don't know where that's going either.
Because that's what it looks like. It looks like they're gonna try to schedule a match, most likely WrestleMania, where Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon, and I don't know.
Well, I think that there's probably two ways that could go. It could be Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon, or it could be Daniel Bryan and Shane versus KO and Sammy, which I've also heard rumors of.
Either way, you're seeing Daniel Bryan going to a ring in action.
It'll still be safer for him to be a tag
team partner because he'll take less bumps.
Exactly. More than an individual.
That does make good points. I mean, but still,
any slip up, anything is possible. Anything
it is. But
I just don't want to see him get hurt.
I know, but let's look at this. You can do this with any wrestler, though. Anything can happen to any wrestler at any time. That they know their risk, they sign their shit, and they do what they do for the entertainment. But and accidents do happen. Hell, there was a stunt where someone fucking died.
Yeah.
Owen Hart.
Yeah. Look at what happened to Drew McIntyre at the last takeover. I mean,
I'm just saying, you could be you could be healthy as a horse, and you can still end your fucking career by one little mistake. It can happen to anybody.
But the difference between Drew McIntyre and Daniel Bryan is if he lands wrong or does something wrong, he could be paralyzed. Drew McIntyre just had his muscle tore or something.
It was his right pectoral got ripped.
That's what I'm saying. It's not as serious. I mean, yes, injuries happen. Don't get me wrong, but one's more being potentially paralyzed and in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
And hell, you also gotta look at Triple H's perspective. He's been injured so many times where,
that guy's an idiot.
His career could have ended. It actually almost did, especially with his fucking knee that 1 year.
It should have ended.
Although, I
have been forced not to wrestle.
have a counter argument about Daniel Bryan. If you want to back up what you say, then why the fuck is John Cena still wrestling after breaking his neck 2 times?
There you go.
I don't think John Cena's broke his neck twice.
It's been twice.
He broke his neck.
Yes.
He broke his neck twice.
On top of all the other injuries he also has.
Yeah, I remember he had his fucking thing on his elbow. Ugh.
He had his elbow. He's ripped his quad. He's done...
I know he broke his neck once. I don't remember him breaking his neck.
It was twice.
It was twice.
Obviously, it's not bad enough injury to where it's going to lead him to be paralyzed. That's the big difference here.
The same thing with Daniel Bryan, though. I mean, it's like...
But we don't know that. And they've been told that he could be potentially paralyzed if he does the wrong thing. Why do you think Edge quit?
Well, that's because he's been pushing it for 8 years, because that was an injury that happened long ago, and he never really fully treated it. Daniel Bryan, he has time, and he's been treating it.
He's buying... If he comes back, let's say he comes back, he's still playing with time, just like Edge did.
Exactly.
He's not going to make another career run with it. We're just talking about one match.
One match, yeah.
And if they play carefully with him,
we're talking about one match. Who knows what WWE's agenda is? We don't know WWE's agenda.
Roman Reigns is
WWE's agenda could be making fucking Daniel Bryan wrestle more than once if he could get cleared to wrestle. We don't know that.
I doubt they do that because Daniel Bryan's so popular with the fans, and we all know WWE's agenda is fucking Roman Reigns, and their
Vince's agenda is Roman Reigns.
Well, Vince is WWE until he's dead.
Pretty much. And then it's going to go to Triple H and
Triple H and stuff.
Unless Shane's able to get his hands on it.
Well, it'll probably be, you know, Steph and Shane, and then Triple H will be the... It will be exactly what he is now, the creative behind it.
He brings in new talent.
Yeah. Which he's done a great job of.
Yeah, he is. It's impressive.
So, I mean... in that sense, I mean, there's a lot that could be going on with Daniel Bryan, and that is what it is for that. Now, unfortunately, with Paige, I mean, she still showed up to Raw this past Monday.
But she could be playing the role of manager now.
And that's something that has been brought up, that she might be a manager for Absolution, which, you know, it would be heartbreaking to see her in a non-wrestling role, but, you know, they need to do something with the women instead of these just lame-ass six-man tag matches. How do you guys feel about that? Every fucking Raw and SmackDown, 6-woman tag, 6-woman tag, 6-woman tag. I think that
it's dull at this point.
Yeah.
It's just point, hey, we don't have enough spotlines for all our women. What are we going to do? Let's just put them all together in a tag match.
Yeah, I mean, I like women's wrestling. And I do not want anyone to think anything less than that. I am a fan of women's wrestling. The problem is I like well-told stories. And we're not getting that with the women. We're just getting bland fucking, let's just put these people together 4 hours beforehand type of shit with the women. It's stupid. What do you guys think?
I think they're only doing it until... I think this is only happening until the Women's Royal Rumble, then I think it will change.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hope so on that count. So, getting back to Raw 25, one of the names I saw on there was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So, you know, do you think Jericho announces he's going to be in the Rumble? Do you think Jericho comes out and, oh my God, Kenny Omega shows up on Raw 25, which I highly doubt? Or do you think, you know, Jericho shows up and gets the shit beat out of him by Kevin Owens?
I don't think he's going to get beat up by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has AJ Styles to worry about. And AJ's just not going to sit there and watch him try to beat up Chris Jericho. They might make AJ Styles, Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but I guarantee you Jericho's not going to get jumped.
Yeah, it is a possibility that they're going to probably put Chris Jericho in a match with especially Kevin Owens, since they're kind of don't have an unfinished business going on after Chris Jericho left. But what I'm seeing it is Chris Jericho is going to at least give us a highlight reel episode. I would love to see him do that and put someone on the list and drink it in, man.
Yeah, he'll definitely be there for the nostalgia part of that. One thing that also intrigued a lot of people is that Undertaker is going to be there for Raw 25. Now, there is a shit ton of rumors, and I will not dignify them than anything other than rumors until I see something official from any sort of official source. But at this point, it's looking like either Undertaker is going to A, retire at Raw 25, or there have been rumblings about him facing John Cena at WrestleMania, him facing, which doesn't make any sense at all to me. You know, why would Undertaker want to face anyone other than John Cena? Because this was the match that people wanted last year, and they didn't get it. and now some people are kind of wishy-washy about it. But if Undertaker does fight at WrestleMania again, doesn't this sort of make Roman Reigns look like a doofus? Mr. I retired the Undertaker. This is my yard now. I mean, what would you guys think about that?
I don't care who. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter if he were to fight someone at WrestleMania. Sure, John Cena. Honestly, I don't care. I'm not hyped. I am an Undertaker fan, and unfortunately, I'm not hyped for Undertaker to be coming to Raw 25. I'm hyped for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, if Stone Cold Steve Austin goes into the ring while Undertaker's there, flips him off and stuns him, I will laugh my ass off. But who cares? He's already lost twice, so who cares pretty much who he fights at WrestleMania?
Danny?
Yeah, sadly, I would have to agree with Ivy. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania anymore. He already lost twice. There's really no point of him doing a WrestleMania match again. I mean, if he announces his retirement at Raw, that's a little more understanding and whatnot. If not, if he does wrestle at WrestleMania, I personally don't want to see him fight Cena. I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I personally, think that spot that he always took at WrestleMania needs to be given to other people at this point. I mean, he's been doing that for 25 years. I think it's time that, other people get that spot. A lot of people, I think, are probably going to be at Raw 25. That it's going to be a memorable show, and I'm sure that it's going to be probably less matches and more promos than anything. More shtick. So I wouldn't expect a lot out of the match department from that. But at the same time, it's going to be more entertaining. So, especially if they go through, just the things they could do with Goldust. I mean, good Lord.
I'm excited for DX to come back.
DX is coming back. That's one. God, all the names.
There's so many names.
Ric Flair.
I am hyped for the 20th anniversary. I don't care what they do. Just see all these wrestlers that I used to watch and enjoy come back just for one night, and just being there, and having the crowd reaction with it. It's gonna be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great. It's 5 hours, but 2 of it, I guess, is on the network.
It's gonna be a 5-hour show?
Yeah, it's 5 hours.
Holy
2 of it's
shit.
on the network, and then 3 of it's on USA, from what I have heard.
Alright.
So...
That's interesting.
Well, it's because they're not going to shove 5 hours on USA. It's just not going to happen.
That would be cool if they did.
Yeah, I don't think USA wants to pay for 5 hours of Raw.
It would give them ratings.
Because their wrestling ratings, and this is another thing I'd like to talk to you guys about. There have been a lot of rumors because Raw and SmackDown's ratings have been in the toilet in 2017. And there's rumors now that USA may not renew that contract. Now, supposedly, if they have to move, it may end up being on Fox Sports 1, which... no. Because, A, that's going to make wrestling look even worse. And, B, I mean, you're taking a PG product to Fox, and this is why. I mean, if you're going to go to Fox, just go back up to TV 14. I mean,
They could try to bring it back onto Spike.
I doubt that would happen.
It's not Spike no more?
It's not Spike no more. It's Paramount.
What the fuck?
Paramount.
It's been a while since I had cable, so...
Yeah, it literally changes as of tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Paramount, yeah.
That recent?
Yeah.
Well, either way, they can go on that channel.
I don't know, because I think the new owners, the reason they got rid of Impact is because they didn't want anything to do with Impact, and they don't want anything to do with pro wrestling. They're more focused on MMA.
Oh, they've been doing wrestling for years. I mean, hell, ECW was on it. Raw was on it once upon a time.
Well, those were the old owners. I mean,
I know, but I'm pretty sure they can work something out. They like money.
Well, I mean, no matter what, I mean, Raw and SmackDown are going to need a home, and it would be...
They can find it.
They'll find one, but they'll end up absorbing a lot of cost, which is going to mean cost cutting, which will more than likely, unfortunately, mean a raise in price of the network, which would suck for me. So, I don't know how that would go, but you know, they're gonna have to make sure they raise their ratings, and now's the time to get that started. But they're gonna have to keep it, you know, at least 2.5 for both shows throughout the majority of the year. Because that 2.1 on Halloween on that Tuesday night SmackDown, that could have been a kill shot to them and their chances with NBC Universal, which is what USA is technically, the banner USA is under.
Yeah.
So it's you know, I'm curious to see where they go if they do not get a renewal from USA. Ivy?
I don't. Personally, I don't think it would leave USA. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't, you know, like he said, everybody, like he said, and like I've always said, everybody has a price, and you throw enough money at the USA, they're gonna be like, okay, we're.
And Vince has money.
Well, it's not them throwing money to USA to show their product. It's USA paying them to show their product. So, you know, it's not, you know.
They can make negotiations.
Exactly.
At very least.
And Fox has already said that if they go to Fox, they're cutting Raw down to 2 hours. So they're not going to get
that 3 hours.
They're 3 hours for Raw.
So they're going to do a lot of cutbacks and shit.
Exactly.
I don't know. I still
Raw shouldn't even be doing cutbacks in the first fucking place, but whatever.
Well,
that's if they go to Fox.
Multi-billion-dollar corporation, and they're doing cutbacks
on fireworks
and stupid shit that shouldn't be cutbacks, but whatever.
Shit, yeah. It's stupid, but whatever.
You're not Impact Wrestling, for God's sakes. You're not fucking some no-named fucking company who's, you know, can't afford it and still uses fireworks and pyro. So I don't know what your excuse is. It makes no sense.
Yeah, if New Japan can put on a badass pyro show, then why the fuck can't you? Yeah. You know, it's just like, whatever. But it's their loss, personally. I mean, it's such a disappointment watching these guys come out with no pyro.
Well, not even the opening of the show, there's no pyro anymore. So you just see fucking music, and you see the crowd, you see lights, and that's it. No big noises, no fireworks, no nothing, no hype.
Yeah, I know. They hype it by shoving someone out there in the first 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Instead of spending 10 seconds on big booms, on explosions.
Yeah. It makes us feel like we're at a show. We're actually getting entertained. We're seeing something big and exciting.
Exactly. I mean, they don't even do that for pay-per-views anymore, which is disappointing.
If anything, they'll do it at WrestleMania, but they'll do it in an outside arena, and they'll do it in the sky, not on the Titantron or the ramps.
Exactly. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was NXT Philadelphia. Now, we were watching NXT earlier today, and we saw the match between the Street Profits and AOP, which that was better than what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't entirely a squash match.
It was squash.
Meh. I mean, hey, Street...
At the very least, I knew who the winner was going to be right off the bat.
I think all three of us knew who the winner was going to be.
It was no competition. We knew who was going to win.
But Street Profits did get that nice move in where I think it was Acom or whatever, because they both look the same, no offense.
Yeah, we'll admit they kind of hold their ground, but still, going against Authors of Pain, you know it's going to be a big loss, especially with the push they've been giving Authors of Pain, and it just showed a big setback with Street Profits when they've been getting built up so well.
Yeah, but I think it was the Street. It was.
See, have them fight
for the Street Profits their first really big match.
True. But, I don't know, if anything, if you want, to make it look interesting, have them fight Heavy Machinery, the Authors of Pain. That would have been really interesting, because you got two...
Well, that's happened before.
I know, but it'll be happening again, because you're seeing four big guys, and they collide together, and it's really interesting. But if you're having them fighting Street Profits when they never really fought big dudes before, you saw what happened.
Well, yeah, they got broke in, literally.
Street Profits fought Heavy Machinery and got squashed.
And my point exactly. I don't think they're going to be...
But that's when they first showed up to...
yeah.
NXT.
Either way, it shows them that they're not going to be ready for big guys.
But they did a lot more against AOP than they did against Heavy Machinery, is my point. They showed a lot more moves and stuff instead of just it being completely squashed like it was against Heavy Machinery. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and so we have, our first match for NXT Philadelphia. You have Aleister Black against Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match.
Not tonight. That wasn't tonight.
No. I said Philadelphia.
I thought you were still talking about tonight.
Pay attention.
My bad.
And this was last week. This is that match was created from Fallout from last week because Adam Cole gave a gruesome Uranagi to fucking Aleister Black, and
That's some bullshit.
then they bent the damn chair. Damn. And then William Regal's Philadelphia is known for being an extreme city, so you're gonna face Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match. So, given that an Extreme Rules match is literally no rules, do you think Aleister Black wins, or do you think we see some douchebaggery with the Undisputed Era?
Aleister Black is gonna win because Undisputed Era is retarded and they're pissing off a ton of people instead of just fighting one person. Sanity. Roderick Strong. Screwed over Lars Sullivan. God forbid you fucking for doing that. But, there's seriously more people you're pissing off and you're not pissing off.
They're making more enemies than friends.
Exactly. So they're on, in my opinion, if those two come out, they're going to be on the screwed side if other people decide to help Aleister Black.
Yeah, and they need to cease and desist their bullshit on that one because they're going to piss off the whole roster, and then everybody's going to run out and just beat the shit out of them. If this is a one-on-one and just stays a one-on-one, my call here is Aleister Black. I don't, because I think that Aleister Black having two major losses, the first one being the Fatal 4-Way,
bullshit,
and the second one being this, that would devalue Aleister Black's, stock value in NXT. If they had Adam Cole win, that means you are putting a rocket up his ass towards the top. And whether that's because, McIntyre will be coming back, or it's because you want McIntyre to fight Gargano, or whatever, because they're both white midgets. I mean, that's the only reason I could see them doing that with Adam Cole is because they want Adam Cole to fight Gargano. But at the same time, I could see them having Gargano fight Aleister Black. And because them two have unfinished business, because Undisputed kind of got in the middle of their skirmish during that Fatal 4-Way.
Well, if you're saying they have unfinished business, Lars Sullivan has unfinished business. And if Lars Sullivan has unfinished business, Killian Dane has unfinished business.
Speaking of Lars Sullivan, they didn't make this official, but why the fuck did Roderick Strong call out a Lars Sullivan? I mean, does he have a death wish?
Clearly he does.
Roderick Strong wouldn't be by himself, I guarantee you. It's gonna end up being something where because Aleister Black is like, not Aleister Black, Lars Sullivan was like, yeah, last week, Killian Dane, yeah, let's go. So now Roderick Strong is doing the same thing. Really?
Is it gonna be? You think it's gonna be a
Probably
triple threat?
If anything.
And then you have,
which means Roderick Strong is gonna get squashed.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, I like Roderick Strong, and I've watched Roderick Strong since the beginning. I saw the whole thing where they were telling his backstory about him being an ROH and everything. I like him because he's a family man. He's a good guy and not a dick,
Like Adam Cole, baby.
But seriously, I just feel like, Roderick Strong, I'm just hoping he's not getting the shaft. But there's so much talent right now in NXT, it would almost be hard not to give him the shaft.
Oh my.
I mean, especially with, if they put him in a triple threat with Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane, my best bet to him would be take Bray Wyatt's advice and run. So, and just let the fat boy from Belfast and the other dude who's just psychotic and destroyed Leo Rush last week, just have it out and then just go for whatever body, pull a just go ahead and pull a Seth Rollins there, because that's the only way you're winning that one. The only other thing that we know of for Philadelphia also happened tonight, and it was a match between, oh God, what women was it?
Two chicks from the
Mae Young.
Two chicks from the Mae Young Classic. They were fighting each other, and one of them came out and started talking crap, saw Shayna Baszler, and ran with her tail between her legs. And then Shayna Baszler proceeds to go in the ring and just chokes out the chick in the ring. Then Ember Moon comes out and straight up calls out Shayna Baszler and is like, fight me, and it's like, oh, you don't want to fight here because you don't have your gear? Then fight me in Philadelphia. Now, that was a mistake, because if you're fighting for your title against Shayna Baszler, I have news for you. She was in UFC and was the champ. But, yeah, the reality of that situation is more than likely that's a title change there. And, I guess this means that Ember Moon might be making a transition upwards after WrestleMania?
Not after WrestleMania.
No,
after Philadelphia.
It'd be after WrestleMania because she'd get a rematch.
Not necessarily. I mean, technically, yeah, sure, but I think she's... The reason why I say after Philadelphia, because I do believe she's going to be showing up in the women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so look at it this way. Well, there's a lot of NXT wrestlers who will get drafted to the main roster, but you'll still see them finishing up their NXT stuff. Like, it happened with Bobby Roode. It happened with Ty Dillinger.
It happened with the females.
It happened Ruby Riott and Sonya.
Yeah, which was for about 2 weeks.
So yeah, if anything, you're going to see that transition.
Yeah. Though, again, if you put Ember Moon on a show, which one do you put her on?
Well, since we got Asuka at Raw, I'll probably say she'll probably do better for SmackDown, because SmackDown will pretty much need it.
Well, it won't matter because, I mean, if she gets called up, let's say she gets called up before WrestleMania. Okay. After WrestleMania, they always do a shakeup. So it's not going to matter where she ends up right away anyways. Because if they decide to do a shakeup and she starts off on SmackDown and gets drafted to Raw because of the shakeup, it's not going to matter in the beginning anyways.
The reason I say it won't happen until after WrestleMania is because, A, she will get her rematch, and which will more than likely be at TakeOver New Orleans, whatever they decide to call that. The other reason is that it would make sense, because why put her on one brand just to switch her over to the other brand? And if I were to put her on a brand, while Raw does have a shit ton of talent, she doesn't have any history with anyone on SmackDown except for Ruby Riott. Whereas she has a lot of history with Asuka. So, in all honesty, when you look at her body of work with Asuka, I think that would make for a great feud going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, but again, like I said, if you put her on the main roster right after the Royal Rumble and have her do whatever she needs to do for her rematches and all this stuff while she's on the main roster, because other women have done it, the shakeup, you could, if Asuka, let's say Asuka stays on Raw, and Ember goes to SmackDown by the shakeup, because I guarantee there will be a shakeup after WrestleMania, because I always do it.
Yep.
She will end up getting drafted to Raw, and then we could have that whole Ember thing. She doesn't have to absolutely start off on Raw to whatever for Asuka. She could end up being there after the shakeup.
I just don't think she'll get called up until after New Orleans. But that's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying that's my opinion. So, because they normally pull the long game between January and April, which is usually true of every brand. So, and you know that long game has already started. So, but you know, I mean, we'll find out soon enough. I mean, the Rumble's in 2 weeks.
That's a week from Sunday, actually.
Yeah, it's a week from Sunday.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're almost there, so we'll find out soon enough.
Because Monday Night Raw is Raw 25, and then they have SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. Then Sunday is Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Well, don't we also have Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia's Saturday.
Philadelphia is also Saturday before the Rumble. So
we got a lot of wrestling next week.
Yeah. And I'm actually working SPW on Sunday, so I have a lot of wrestling in the next, between Sunday to Sunday.
I'm so hoping I can make it to that. It just all depends if I have
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing Thursday, nothing Friday.
And then Saturday, and then the next Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
So
your only breaks are Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of wrestling. Okay, so I guess my last subject to close this out, we saw a lot of the tag teams tonight on NXT. And if any of you had seen the NXT year in review, there was a thing about the tag teams of the future on NXT. Now, this isn't confirmed, but I guess this summer's, tournament is the tag team. It's a tag team tournament. I don't know if they're going to call it the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but it should be, as they did not have one in November.
They have that one last year.
But, no, they did not have one last year. It's November. They always had it in November.
I could have swore they had one last year.
No, they did not.
Because AOP won it.
AOP won it in 2016. There was none in 2017. So, while these two guys look up their phones, I'll go ahead and weigh in on my opinion. There are a lot of good tag teams in NXT right now. TM61's coming back, and I'm sure they're going to want a piece of the pie. AOP more than likely is going to get moved up, but you've got Heavy Machinery, you've got, Riddick Moss and Sabatelli, you've got the Street Profits, you've got, there's a lot of good up-and-coming developing tag teams. So, and what was that, Ivy?
I don't believe they didn't. It doesn't look like they had one last year.
Thank you. Now, but as far as all of those tag teams...
First one was in October, not November, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well...
Last one AOP won, it was in November. So.
Either way, there wasn't one.
Yeah. But what of all the new tag teams, not including AOP Insanity, because I can almost guarantee you both of them are going to get moved up after WrestleMania in some sort of shakeup. Who of the new tag teams do you think are going to be worthy of the belts?
Street Profits or Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
There's really TM61. They have a bad hit. They had gotten injured. One of them got injured, so you really couldn't have them.
They got to start over
anyway, so they're going to end up starting from the bottom and getting to the top. Blake and Murphy, we don't even know what the hell happened to them. As far as I know, they're still part of NXT, but we don't know where they are. So,
If anything, I pretty much either Heavy Machinery or Street Profits.
Yeah, I'd put my money on next year's big tag team rivalry being between Heavy Machinery and Street Profits, just because they're very, they have different types of personalities. But that would also mean that the Street Profits one of them would have to go heel. So, out of the two, which one do you think would go heel?
Did you just say one of the two of the Street Profits go heel?
No, one between Heavy Machinery and Street Profits.
Heavy Machinery.
You think Heavy Machinery would go heel, huh?
Yeah.
I think Street Profits would go heel.
It fits them.
I am going to have to agree with Danny on this one. I think Street Profits would go heel. And why? Because they have a very, not that Heavy Machinery doesn't have a cocky attitude, but I feel like the crowd is more so behind Heavy Machinery than they are behind the Street Profits.
I disagree.
But, I don't know, they're both pretty new teams, so.
Both pretty crowdy.
Yeah.
The crowds for both of those teams.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a bad guy tag team, it'd be that Tino Sabatelli and Retard.
Yeah, Sabatelli and Riddick Moss would definitely be the big heel team. I don't disagree with that at all. So, those guys, and then you could have TM61, since they're having to start over from the bottom, go heel. So,
because they have to start from the bottom, they'd go heel.
Exactly. They could be like the, well, what have you done for me lately type of team. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. So, Ivy. So, I'm Gary Maloney, and for Ivan and Danny, this is Sacktown Slam. And we are signing off.
Bang. Bang, 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 finger bang.
Good night.
Up your asses.